Hi, this is Jeff at Below Average. If you could please like, subscribe, and leave a comment, I'd much appreciate it. Today's short video, I want to talk about if you are laid off, uh, going to be laid off, and dealing with unemployment and the side hustle. And all this comes out to play that if unemployment, which is a very low amount of money, if this does not pay your bills and you must figure out something until your next full-time job, this is what I want to talk about. Now, the easy thing to do first, if you're going to be laid off or you already are laid off and drawing unemployment and you're needing money, obviously these are the most obvious. But if you can do Facebook, Craigslist, if you're in the right part of the United States and you can go to a flea market, still have a garage sale. And the one thing that a lot of people will miss just because they don't know maybe it exists, and that would be a local auction. Just Google from your area, just Google local auctions, see if you can find anything, and that would be great because if you don't want to mess with meeting up with people, exchanging money, or doing any of those types of things, that a local auction would be great. You just go there, drop off your stuff. Now it will take 4 to 6 weeks to get paid, but that would be a way to bypass and not have to mess or do with anything. The other thing would be able to do, obviously, are the online places that you probably already know about: eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Amazon. The thing with these is if you already have an account, so you're drawing unemployment and you already have an account and you sell things on there, you are rolling the dice of possibly having an issue down the road because you were drawing unemployment. Why, in theory, they think you're making money because you might get a 1099, or you will be getting a 1099 in the mail from one of these companies. So if you're in that scenario where you do have these accounts already and you're still needing money to pay your bills, and you don't want to do Facebook, you don't want to do any of the other ones that I mentioned, or you don't have them in your area, or you're in the wrong part of the United States to have the garage sale or the flea market, if your spouse has accounts on these or don't have an account, start an account with your spouse's name only, and then you can end up selling all the merchandise or different things that you want to sell online and don't have to worry about it because the 1099 would come in your spouse's name, not yours, which this would be a way to circumvent or bypass the unemployment stuff that could happen. And all these are scenarios that could easily be already happening for you, or you could do. Just don't want you to think that you can't possibly sell some things online because you might get a 1099 and you're drawing unemployment. Now, the one thing to do with any of these scenarios is don't go to your local Goodwill, don't go buying all kinds of stuff that think you're going to try to flip and resell. You're wanting to turn money right away. You need cash because unemployment does not cut it to pay bills, especially nowadays with the cost of gas and groceries and everything. So you look around your house, if it's an apartment you're in, whatever you have, you'd be surprised at how much stuff that you do not use that have value and that you'll be able to sell at least the initial time frame until you find a job. If that's probably what most people are going to look on, they're just buying time till they can get their next job. All these things will end up helping out. Plus, you'll declutter your house or your apartment. You'd be surprised how great that'll be. Also, do not under or overlook a value of an item. There are things that you might have that you think is worth a crazy amount of money. Spend a few seconds looking them up to make sure they are. And you'd be surprised some things are not worth anything, or you're going to have to sell it a lot cheaper, and some things are surprisingly worth a little bit of money. So you just want to be in the know, not based off what you paid for or what somebody's trying to sell it for, or what somebody's just telling you. just spend the few seconds of research that you can do through Google or right on eBay into the sold section, and that will that'll give you the idea of what you are possibly able to get. These are definitely be by far the best avenues to end up on the short term. And to give you an idea, if you are looking for a job during the time when you are doing all these things, if you are in an interview and this is obviously because you are going to go back to work, do not voluntarily tell them that you are doing all these side hustles and you've been doing this to survive while you've been on unemployment. For one, a lot of employers might not care to find out that you are spending time instead of possibly you might be not spending the time with them, especially if they do overtime. And now, if they just come out and outright ask you, don't lie, but don't voluntarily give up any of this info, especially because some of this stuff you might start enjoying and seeing I can make a few extra $100 and not have a lot of time involved. And this might be something you keep doing after your next job. So these are all pretty self-explanatory steps, but one of the big ones is if you can have your spouse on any of these accounts, online accounts that you could get a 1099 on because you sold a bunch of stuff, that this will not affect your unemployment because everything would be going through your spouse, even if it might even be a friend, anybody you know that already maybe is doing a little of this and they don't mind maybe taking on that for you. You just throw them a few bucks to cover the cost in the end of any tax stuff that they might end up having to deal with. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory, and obviously this is looking at for short term to get by through unemployment, when obviously unemployment is not going to pay any of your bills unless you have a nice savings account and you're just going to drain it. So look at these avenues first. Like I asked earlier in the video, if you could please like, subscribe, and comment down below. And I can end up keep looking at some of these other avenues. Thank you, and have a great day.